Hello and welcome to the Thermo channel. In this video I'm going to talk about this book, Essential Thermodynamics by Professor Athanassios Panagiotopoulos. And I have decided to talk about it because I have found out that some colleagues and students have not heard about it, and I think it's important to know about this excellent book. But before I talk about the book, let me tell you a quick story. I was a young faculty member in Rio de Janeiro in the late 1980s. One day, a senior colleague brought me a paper and told me, you should study this paper because it's an important one and its only author will one day be very famous. The paper was about the Gibbs ensemble of statistical thermodynamics and the author was Athanassios Panagiotopoulos. The paper has become very influential and the author has become one of the leading figures of chemical engineering thermodynamics in the world. He now works for Princeton University as a professor of chemical engineering, and for the sake of full disclosure, let me tell you that this issue of the book that I have in my hand was given to me by the author. The book starts with an introductory chapter, and then chapter 2 is about energy balance, chapter 3 is about entropy and reversibility, and it's important to call attention to the fact that the author introduces the microscopic interpretation of entropy at this point. Chapter 4 is a brief chapter on heat engines and refrigeration cycles. 5 is about the mathematical relationships of thermodynamics, Legendre transformations, thermodynamic identities, and the like. Then chapter 6 is about the stability of thermodynamic systems, which I think is a very important topic to introduce even at undergraduate level. And then the subsequent chapters are on the properties of pure fluids, of mixtures, phase equilibrium, and chemical equilibrium. In essence, everything one should cover in an undergraduate chemical engineering thermodynamics course. I particularly like the problems, the proposed problems. I think they are instigating. It's not plug numbers and get answers. Problems that require analysis, thinking, and I think this is one of the strong points of this book. I have told you what the book contains, but when trying to be essential, the author has had to make decisions on what goes into the book and what does not go into the book. So now I'm going to tell you what is not on the book. For example, you will not find steam tables, pressure enthalpy, temperature entropy, Mollier diagrams in this book. So if you're a faculty member watching this video, you need to think that if you use this book, you will need to provide these materials as supplements to your students from your own sources. Also, things like modern thermodynamic models are discussed very briefly. For example, the author refers to UNIQUAC in the book, but says that its discussion, its presentation is beyond the scope, and there is no discussion about an RTL or Wilson models for that matter. Modern equations of state, such as SAFT, are not discussed in the book. Modern mixing rules for cubic equations of state, like Wong-Sandler, are not discussed in the book. So the author has made a clear decision to stick to simpler models that are easier to use for hand calculations. Also, I think there's something interesting here because thermodynamic models come and go, but the fundamentals of thermodynamics remain, and this book is essentially about the foundations of thermodynamics. In essence, I think the author has written a book for the ages. Undergraduate students are the main target audience for this book. But I think that professionals who want to develop a deeper understanding of classical thermodynamics will benefit a lot from it too. In addition, I think that undergraduate students who take a thermal course using a different textbook can use this one Essential Thermodynamics as an excellent secondary source of information. The book may be available through other bookstores, but its price on Amazon in March 2018 is $67 US. My final word is that this is an excellent book. Undergraduate students will benefit a lot from it because it's concise, direct, but does not compromise on quality. I also think that professionals can benefit from this book if they want to develop a deeper understanding of classical thermodynamics. Thank you very much for watching this video and see you in the next video of the Uthermo channel.